What's up everyone? We are here in the Team Group suite. It's super crowded. We might not film most of our primary roll here. You'll see mostly B-roll. No one's gonna argue with tech porn, and it's great that it's crowded. It means that people are interested in what they're doing is working. So we have a few new modules to show off, RGB SSDs that I have yet to get to, but I will be including them in builds and actually reviewing that SSD very soon in a dedicated video. Stay tuned for all of that, but for now, check out the B-roll, and we'll introduce the new products starting right now.
Well, I guess we're gonna give it a shot in here. I apologize if the noise is a little too loud. Maybe a new mic next year. But first I want to start with the new Excalibur DDR4. These are using Samsung B dies. You know they're the best in the business, gonna get the best overclocks out of these. And I love the diffusion here they've done with the lighting, RGB, of course. And if you want the special version, well, it literally looks like a sword from the top. So if you're into some sort of like medieval theme in particular, these modules are the ones for you.
Now, as I said in our previous Computex 2018 coverage, I really like it when multiple companies work together to make a very cohesive working unit, and when you can make it look aesthetically pleasing as well, I'm all for it. We're talking Tough Gaming Alliance DDR4 from Team Group, synced up perfectly with the Tough Gaming Asus motherboard, and if you remember, the Deep Cool cooler as well had a Tough Gaming accent, so maybe pair all three together, a nice black and orange color scheme, looking pretty good in the neighborhood. Also, if you're wondering why I have this camera with me pretty much everywhere, this is our B-roll camera, so after we do a shot like this, more of a behind-the-scenes tip, I usually film a couple shots of B-roll, so if I mess up in primary, I can just overlap it with B-roll and do my best to splice the waveforms, and it should sound pretty crispy in post. Now this is the T183 USB flash drive. 128 gigs of storage in this particular model, comes in a dark gray and a silver, and it's not just a thumb drive. If you're interested in something like this, I carry one on my keychain, but it only is that, just a storage drive. This one also opens beer bottles or whatever other bottle requires a bottle opener. So if you want to crack open a cold one with the boys, this one will let you do it. You can also measure with this thing. It has a ruler kind of etched into the top of it, and you can also open boxes with it. Yeah, that's right, a built-in box opener. So maybe I can replace my i3 7350K with this. Finally, something more effective than the CPU that I never use anymore. Now here are the RGB SSDs. You've yet to see them on my channel. This is the first time I've shown them. I do have one back home, but I wasn't able to build with it in time before I left for Computex and in Europe for other things. So this is the first time I've seen them in person, and they actually look really good. So they've done a great job, again, diffusing the light. This is the largest surface area of RGB you'll find on an SSD to date. These are 5-volt powered via a dedicated USB, looks like micro USB port. They're on the bottom left. And the best part is these are all addressable RGB LEDs, so you can actually run really cool designs. If you have an SSD tray, let's say, that's sitting on top of a basement or in front of a basement, then this will definitely come in handy. It'll look nice and snazzy. Hey, it's just an extra RGB component, even if you don't want it to do, you know, the whole rainbow effect. Set it to white, set it to blue, whatever you want, and just rock the color scheme. That's the whole point of RGB. So if you're, you know, questioning this right now in your head, like, why would anyone want this? Just remember, there are many people out there, what, 7+ billion people in the world. Everyone has a unique preference, and that's what RGB allows you to do, is sculpt your components to your color preference. So this has been the Team Group suite. I'm glad they got a larger suite this year. They definitely needed it. People have been flooding this place, and we've struggled to find space to even film B-roll. So that's a good thing. I don't blame them for having, you know, a lot of traffic in their suite. That's a good thing, definitely. And what we've realized is that, look, they're not afraid to step out of the comfort zone when it comes to an aesthetic approach, right, to RAM. The Excalibur DDR4 lineup is definitely an example of that. The RAM modules themselves look like nothing else on the market, and they're bold enough to make a step like that, to throw these products into the market and to just cross their fingers and hope that people catch on to the designs and to the new trend. RGB is definitely hot right now. I love seeing those with all the modules basically that Team Group has to offer. And even if you don't want RGB or any LEDs at all for that matter, look, you can pick yourself up some stuff that's not RGB capable, right? So you have multiple color options, multiple RGB LED options, stuff that has none of that at all, but it still clocks extremely high using the premium dies from companies like Micron, Hynix, and Samsung. Samsung B dies in the latest stuff, the Excalibur DDR4. Stay tuned, we'll have links updated below. By the way, if you want to enter for a chance to win an RGB SSD, which I still think is just crazy beyond belief, not sure if I'm totally on board yet, but I think I will be once I build with one, then check out the link below, the very top link. You can enter to win your very own RGB SSD. This has been Science Studio. Thanks for checking out the Team Group Suite. Thanks for traveling with us.